Hey there, it's me from my travel channel. Today we're talking about what every tourist should know before visiting Saudi Arabia. And to help us out, we have a very special guest. He is originally from Saudi Arabia. He moved to Canada in 2010 and now lives in a major city in Canada and is a motivational speaker. So let's talk about the 10 things that every tourist should know before going to Saudi Arabia. Let's start right now. Hi there. Welcome to my travel channel. If you are planning a trip to Saudi Arabia or just simply want to know more about this country, then this episode of What Every Tourist Should Know is for you. Our special guest has kindly agreed to answer some questions that I had prepared for him. But before we get into it, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. In this series, I ask locals about their country so that you can learn about their culture, history, food, fun facts, and much more. As always, I begin with question No. 1, which is what is the one thing that you think a first-time visitor should know before coming to your country? I mean, culturally, Saudis are very warm, very welcoming people. A lot of people might expect them to be strict and serious, and they are serious when it comes to religion and their prayers. But other than that, they are very welcoming and friendly people. That's probably the biggest shock for a lot of people who come visit Saudi Arabia. They were expecting totally different. In Saudi Arabia, there are different types of people from all over the world. It's not just Saudis. There's a lot of expats living in Saudi Arabia. So you will find different types of personalities, but most Saudis are very friendly and helpful. Question No. 2 is there anything that you would suggest tourists not to do while visiting your country? A lot of people don't realize that Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country. We do have a lot of rules and regulations and laws that are based on our religion. So I would tell people to make sure that they respect the local culture and customs. For example, dress modestly. Make sure you're not doing anything that is inappropriate in public. For example, like public displays of affection. Also, there are certain places in Saudi Arabia that are off limits for non-Muslims. So if you're going to be visiting Saudi Arabia, make sure you know where you can go and where you cannot go. My third question is, what is the one thing that you think that a first-time visitor should absolutely try while visiting your country? I would say the food. The food in Saudi Arabia is amazing. There's a lot of different types of dishes. Most of them are based on Arabic cuisine. There are also a lot of Persian influences because of the large Iranian community in Saudi Arabia. So you will find a lot of Persian food in Saudi Arabia. It's called Gulf cuisine. One of the most famous dishes that you must try when you go to Saudi Arabia is called manish. Manish is kind of like a flat bread. It's a very big bread that's made out of yeast and flour. It's stuffed with melted cheese and salsa, and it's grilled on both sides until it is golden brown and crispy. Another dish that you must try when you are in Saudi Arabia is kabza. Kabza is considered the national dish of Saudi Arabia. It's a rice-based dish that contains meat, usually chicken or goat meat, as well as vegetables and spices. And another dish that you absolutely must try when you go to Saudi Arabia is called maniziz. You may have heard of this already. It's kind of like a pizza. It's made out of the same dough as manish, but it's topped with a tomatoey sauce and melted cheese and sometimes meat or vegetables. And it's cooked in a tawa, which is a traditional Arabic frying pan. It's kind of like a thick pancake. It's really delicious. It's cheesy. It's great for breakfast or brunch. Question No. 4 is, what is the one place that you think a first-time visitor should not miss while visiting your country? There's a couple of places that you shouldn't miss when you go to Saudi Arabia. One of them is Al Waba Crater. This is a volcanic crater that is located near the city of Taif. And another place that you need to visit when you are in Saudi Arabia is called Farasan Islands. These are a group of islands that are located in the Red Sea. They are known for their beautiful beaches, coral reefs, and diverse marine life. Another place that you need to visit when you are in Saudi Arabia is Madan Saleh. This is an archaeological site that is located in the northwest of Saudi Arabia. It contains the remains of a once great city that was inhabited by the Nabatean people. This place is often referred to as the Saudi Arabia's answer to Petra in Jordan. Also, Riyadh, the capital city, has a lot of cool places that you should check out. There's the Masmak Fortress, which is a historic fort that dates back to the early 19th century. It played a significant role in the unification of Saudi Arabia. Then there's the National Museum of Saudi Arabia, which showcases the history and culture of the country. Now, for question No. 5, I asked him, what is the best way to get around in your country? Is Uber popular there? Do you guys use taxis? What is the best way to do it? Well, Uber is pretty much everywhere in Saudi Arabia, especially in the big cities like Riyadh, Jeddah, and Dammam. But if you are in a smaller city or a rural area, then Uber might not be available. In that case, you can use Careem. This is a similar service to Uber, but it's actually based in the UAE. So even though Uber might not be available, Careem is pretty much everywhere. And if you are renting a car, be careful. Driving in Saudi Arabia can be challenging. The roads are often congested, and the driving standards can be quite poor. However, if you are planning to rent a car, make sure you have an international driver's license. And keep in mind that in Saudi Arabia, they drive on the right side of the road. Question No. 6 is, how many days would you suggest a first-time visitor should spend in your country? To experience the highlights, I would say at least 10 days. That way you can spend a few days in Riyadh, a few days in Jeddah, and a few days in Al-Ula. Al-Ula is a historic region that contains the famous rock-cut architecture of Hegra. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. For question number 7, I asked him, is there any specific local custom or tradition that a tourist should know before visiting your country? Absolutely. When you are in someone's home, it is customary to take off your shoes before entering the house. And also, when you are invited to a Saudi home for a meal, it is polite to bring a gift, usually something sweet like dates or sweets or cookies. And another thing to keep in mind is that in Saudi Arabia, it is considered rude to eat with your left hand. The left hand is used for unclean purposes, such as using it for personal hygiene. So it is best to use your right hand for eating and other polite purposes. For question No. 8, I asked him, what is the most popular month to visit your country? Is there a particular month that you would recommend? Saudi Arabia is a very hot country, and the summer months of June, July, and August can be extremely hot. So the best time to visit Saudi Arabia is during the winter months of December to February. During this time, the weather is cooler and there is less rainfall. Spring season, which starts from March to May, can also be a great time to visit Saudi Arabia. This is because the weather is still pleasant during this time, and there are many flowers that bloom during the spring season. For my next question, I asked him, what is the most popular souvenir that you can buy from your country? There are many souvenirs that you can buy from Saudi Arabia. One of the most popular ones is the red cap. The red cap is a traditional Saudi hat that is made from goatskin leather, and it is usually worn by men. Of course, you can also buy the usual stuff like spices, perfumes, dates, sweets, and carpets. And finally, for my last question, I asked him, what is the one thing that surprised you the most since moving to Canada? The thing that surprised me the most about Canada is the kindness and politeness of the people here. Everyone is just so nice and helpful. It's been a great experience living in Canada. Thank you so much for watching this episode of What Every Tourist Should Know. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, goodbye.